In this review, we're taking a look at a heavy trailer model. The real trailer is made by the Dutch company Nooteboom, and it's a snappily named OVB-102-06V, and it's an extendable 6-axle ballast trailer. This model is made by YCC, and it's a Type 2 UK specification in a RAL 1007 colour, which is yellow. And the generic model number is 768.
Let's weigh it up.
Onto the weighbridge goes the box, and it comes in at £1 11 ounces, and that's just over 3/4 of a kilogram. The box is nice quality and it's Nooteboom branded, and let's open it up and see what's inside. Firstly, we have a little booklet, and we'll take a look at that in a moment, and then there's some nice quality black foam rubber. The model itself is wrapped in soft paper, so let's gently undo that, and then using a medium-sized hand crane we can gently lift it out. Included is a screwdriver and some bags of parts. Now we move on to the booklet, and it starts with some words about Nooteboom, and there's a dimensioned diagram of the trailer. Next we see that there are two versions of the trailer, a Type 1 and a Type 2, where Type 1 is a European version and Type 2 is a UK version. Next we see there's a variety of kingpins to suit other model makers' tractors, and then we have some diagrams explaining the setup of the trailers, and that includes how they can be used to carry heavy telescopic booms. And it's good because it tells you how much to extend the trailers and where to position the boom supports. Then there's quite a section about the Type 2 trailers, because these have ladders and a safety rope system. We'll start with a simple assembly, and here we've laid out the parts for the kingpin. They include a spacer and pins for Kencraft, WSI IMC, Techno IMC, NZG and Conrad models. Out of the box the WSI pin is fitted, so we'll remove that, and it just unscrews. We will replace it with an NZG kingpin because that's the tractor that we're going to use. And it's a simple job just to screw it in. For a simple configuration we'll also add the headboard at the front of the trailer, and this is a metal part which fits in very nicely. Here's the tractor that we're going to use, and it's a big NZG made Mercedes-Benz Actros. And with the right kingpin it fits very well. All axles are grounded except axle 1, and we'll say more about that later on.
Let's weigh it up again.
So in this simple configuration the model weighs about £1 4 ounces, or around 570 grams. Looking underneath, and as expected, this is a very detailed model. There are banks of hoses running along the structure, and you can see the YCC logo. The wood panelling is visible underneath, and a particular aspect of the model is the very high metal content. And that includes the landing leg arrangement and also all of the axle details. As you can see, the detailing also includes more tiny hoses running from the tanks, and it's all very convincing. The double road tyres have a nice tread pattern. The level of detailing runs across all 6 axles, and another absolutely tiny detail is the tying on points, and these are all individually fitted. The metal headboard is robustly modelled, and the tiny Nooteboom logos look great. Airline connectors and small graphics enhance the look, and the high level of detailing continues down the edge of the trailer, including a yellow stripe. The landing legs have got smooth-faced pistons, and there's an excellent textured surface on the deck. Particularly nice is the wooden deck surface, and that adds to the authentic appearance. Both the spine beam and the deck are very nicely finished. A high point of the detail is the control console for the trailer. It is incredibly detailed with tiny gauges, And almost unbelievably, it's actually got very tiny working levers. But you'll really need to chew on your salami-sized fingers to be able to operate them. More tiny graphics run down the edge of the trailer. And another high point of the model are the wheels. And it's always good to see tyres with proper branding. And as you can see, the wheels themselves are very detailed. The hub is coloured and there are tiny wheel nuts. The detail doesn't disappoint at the back either. There are graphics and nicely formed lights. And there are Nooteboom graphics on the mud flaps. Starting underneath and the wheels turn freely. There is independent steering of axle 1, and the rear 4 axles have linked proportional steering. Each of the axles also has its own independent suspension, and if you want to stand the trailer on its own, there are a pair of landing legs which get lowered by unscrewing them. Here you can see that the suspension works very well. And with the steering set, the trailer traces a nice curve. There is another feature on axle 1, which is that it can be clipped up out of service. And the height of lift is very good, so it's easily visible on the model. Unusually for a ballast carrier, this trailer is also telescopic, and that gives the possibility of carrying long, heavy loads. Talking of loads, let's put one on. And these are very heavy lattice boom sections. Also included are these boom supports for a telescopic boom, and they are detailed metal parts. As we've seen before, the manual tells us how to configure the trailer for a telescopic boom, and we'll try it out for the Liebherr LTM 11200 telescopic boom. The extension is set at 5 cm and we place the supports, and then we can add the telescopic boom. This one is from the NZG model and it is as it comes out of the box, so it's got the Y-guy arrangement already fitted, and in real life that might make it a bit on the heavy side. With this heavy load on board, there's no problem with all of the axles turning when the trailer is moved. An option for the basic trailer is to fit deck posts, and these metal posts fit into preformed holes in the normal way. They fit well, so it's easy to get them all standing straight and looking good. This Type 2 trailer though is different because it has ladders and safety systems on the deck. To begin with, we'll mount an access ladder at the front of the trailer, and there are 2 tiny screws to remove using the included screwdriver. We then attach the ladder support and ladder by doing up the 2 screws to get a secure connection. Next we attach supports for the safety wire system, and these press into special extensions fitted along the deck edge. This also includes a large metal barrier at the rear of the trailer, and there is another ladder to fit. This is very clever because it goes into swivelling holders, and then it gets fed through. To hold it in place in the transport position, there's an extremely thin pin to insert, and once you get it in, it works very well. Lastly, you string the wires, which are made of steel coloured string, and this works great because the string fits into clips on each post. With the system in place, we'll now give it a load of 100 tonnes worth of ballast blocks, and once we're on site, we can lower the ladders. YCC Models has always set an exceptionally high standard, and this ballast carrier model continues that tradition. It is high quality with a very high metal content, and it's great to look at because it has some exceptional details. It is also a very flexible trailer model because it can be configured in numerous ways, And overall, there's no doubt that this trailer model is excellent.